Hello, everyone. A warm welcome to part 1 of this exam prep session on Microsoft Dynamics 365 Fundamentals, Customer Engagement Apps, CRM, MB910. I'm Monica from TechnoFocus, and I will be serving as your moderator today. We're glad to have E.Y. Kalman with us, who will be presenting today's session. He is a Microsoft Certified Trainer and a Microsoft MVP for business applications. He is currently based in the UK. So let me now hand it over to our presenter. Kalman, the floor is yours now.
Welcome to the Microsoft Dynamics 365 exam prep for the MB910 exam, Dynamics 365 Fundamentals for CRM. My name is E.Y. Kalman. I am a Microsoft Most Valuable Professional as well as a Microsoft Certified Trainer. The aim of this course is to go through and give an overview of the MB910 exam and go into all the information that we need around it to understand all the various topics in order to pass it. But first, what we're going to do is we're going to start with an overview of where the exam actually sits and what is necessary for it, and just a general overview to the certifications around Dynamics 365 exams. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. If we start off, we have various types of exams. We have fundamentals exam and we have role-based exams. Now, the fundamentals exam is this specific exam, the MB910. And what this is this is the start of the certification and the understanding of everything. It allows people to demonstrate their knowledge of the basic parts of the system and gain an understanding overall. Once people have taken this exam, you can then look at a role-based exam to expand your technical skill set. And there are currently 4 of them available. There is the Dynamics 365 Sales Functional Consultant, which is the MB210, the Dynamics 365 Marketing Functional Consultant, which is the MB220, the Dynamics 365 Customer Service Functional Consultant, which is the MB230, and the Dynamics 365 Field Service Functional Consultant, which is the MB240. And although each exam can be taken on their own, there is also the overarching exam, consultant exam, covering Dynamics 365 overall in depth, which is now the PL200 exam. And taking the PL200 plus one of the relevant exams will then give you one of the specific role-based qualifications. Now, let's go back and take a look at who exactly this exam, the MB910, is aimed at. So the aim of this is to give people a broad understanding of the customer engagement capabilities of Dynamics 365. It's not going heavily into depth into customer service or sales or field service. You're not expected to know how to configure a channel coming in omnichannel, for example. That's not it at all. You want to be able to understand the general platform for it, what's happening, what model-driven apps are, for instance. You're not going to be looking at canvas apps at this point, what model-driven apps are, and to be able to understand what it's there. It will include things like artificial intelligence, because we have some AI capabilities within the system that we will talk through with at an overall high level. And once you take the exam and pass it, what you will then get is you will get the fundamentals badge for the MB910. So you'll then be Microsoft certified for Dynamics 365 fundamentals. Now, in terms of the training available for it, there are again 2 paths available. There is the instructor-led training, which is the MB910T00-A course, and that is a 2-day course which Microsoft partners and training academies offer. Or there are self-paced online training using Microsoft Learn, which goes through modules relating to each one of the apps, and we're going to talk about the apps and go through them in detail. There are between 4 to 6 modules per app to go through to understand. It's self-paced training, it's not timed at all. It asks you questions, there are assessments involved in it which you can take to do, and then when you're ready for it, what you can then do is register and you can then take the exam, and it's entirely up to you as to which way you wish to go with it. But both are absolutely valid for it. So with that, let's go ahead and start taking a look at the customer engagement apps. So what we're now going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to move into our first module, which is around Microsoft Dynamics 365 for marketing. This is one of the 5 core modules that we're going to take a look at. So what we're now going to do is we're going to take a look at the customer engagement apps. And there are 5 core Dynamics 365 customer engagement applications. There are a variety of other solutions that are around within the Dynamics 365 suite, but there are 5 core ones. And they are Microsoft Dynamics 365 for marketing, Microsoft Dynamics 365 for sales, Microsoft Dynamics 365 for field service, Microsoft Dynamics 365 for customer service, and finally, Microsoft Dynamics 365 for project operations. And as we go through the training in this series, we're going to take a look at each of these. But at a high level, what we do is we'll start with Microsoft Dynamics 365 for marketing. And what this is, instead of rudimentary and basic email marketing and email engagement, it's about identifying the customers that we really think we can sell our products to. It's about engaging with them in the right way. We can connect sales and marketing together, we can automate processes, we can run campaigns whereby we're going to look at specific sectors and we're going to chop and change things up in order to bring them all together in the right way to market to them, because the way that we go to market is not going to be the same across all sectors, across all types of customers. We need to appeal to each customer in the right way for them. And out of that, we can then make smarter decisions in order to maximize our marketing return on investment. So that's Microsoft Dynamics 365 for marketing. It's the first step in the journey. Moving on from there, we then have Microsoft Dynamics 365 for sales. And this comes into play following on from the marketing piece. It's going beyond Salesforce automation. It's to better understand the customer needs to engage more efficiently and win more deals. We're able to see how the customers are segmented. We're able to have sales pipelines. We're able to forecast sales. We're able to manage the expectations on it and track through it again with automation, which is key to it, of course. Once we've sold something, what we want to do is we want to be able to offer customer service around it. So we have Microsoft Dynamics 365 for customer service. And this provides built-in intelligence, and it's there to be able to deliver faster, more personalized service and to add value to every interaction. We're going to look at the ability for customers to provide the ability to self-service through a customer portal, the ability for customers to engage with a support desk through a multitude of different channels using omnichannel, and we'll take a look at it when we go into that. We also have Microsoft Dynamics 365 for field service, and what this is if we're an organization in which we have to travel to customer site and we need to perform fixes, say for instance we're delivering farm machinery and we need to then fix the farm machinery, we would send out a field service technician. So what we want to do is we want to be able to handle that. We want to be able to track the resources available, track the products that they would use to repair it, track their availability and their travel time for it, be able to plan it out on a schedule board. We want even to see if there are issues that are occurring before they actually reach a certain trigger level. So we're able to use notifications around this to be able to then to automatically put in service plans in place. This therefore would reduce operational costs and deliver positive experience to customers. And finally, we have Microsoft Dynamics 365 for project operations. And organizations who run advisory services, for instance, will be running projects or delivering products as well. They will also have projects there, and project operations is there to be able to run projects. We're able to build trusted customer relationships. We're able to deliver outstanding project experience, to deliver profitable projects, because of course projects should be profitable for ourselves as we are delivering them, within budget, whilst at the time increasing employee productivity. So tracking the resources assigned to the project, who's responsible for the project, the budget, the number of hours spent, the other resources, and all of that. So these are the 5 apps that we will see within the system. Now, of course, Dynamics 365 is built on top of Microsoft Dataverse, and it's very, very key to know around Microsoft Dataverse and what it is. Microsoft Dataverse is essentially the database layer underpinning the Power Platform. Power Platform is, of course, the low-code application development platform, and Dynamics 365 is a capability. If we think of things like apps, Dynamics 365 is a first-party app built by Microsoft, or multitude of apps as we see. We've got customer service and project operations and marketing, etc. And these are built by Microsoft, but they are first-party apps. It's an app with some complex logic, complex functionality within it, but it is there. And it sits generally on top of Dataverse. Dynamics 365 sits entirely on top of Dataverse. Now, Dataverse includes a base set of standardized tables. It's referred to as the common data model, and these cover typical business scenarios such as things like accounts and contacts and activities. Now, the advantage to Dataverse is that organizations can also create custom tables specific to their needs and then use them to populate them with data. They can create apps on top of them and put them there, so we can take accounts and contacts and we can add additional tables and additional columns to it to be able to hold the data that we need. Leveraging Dataverse has a number of benefits. It's easy to manage because the metadata as well as the data itself is stored in the cloud. We don't need to worry about the details of how they're stored or worry about infrastructure and backups and hardware and all the rest of that connectivity. As long as we have internet connectivity, we can connect into the Microsoft cloud to be able to have it. We create it and it's then stored. It's also easy to secure. Data is securely stored, so users can only access what they need to. We have role-based security, which allows us to control access to tables for different users within an organization. We also have other security items available, such as being able to secure specific columns down just to a group of users. We have rich metadata available, which is the data types available on the columns. We can specify if a column is a number, it could be an auto number, it could be text, it could be a URL, it could be a variety of different types. And we can set up the columns as we need it. Again, we have the out-the-box standardized columns in the table, such as accounts and contacts, which we use, but we can extend those as well as create our own ones in order to be able to do the data that we want. We don't just create a column and it's there. We can say what the column type is to be able to specify what the data that's put in there in. We also have logic and validation. We're able to say we need a column that's calculated. So for instance, we can say calculate an invoice total amount based on the invoice lines within it, where it looks at the amount for each invoice line, then it calculates the overall invoice amount. We're also able to do things like business rules to set columns as being required or not required, show or hide them based on a set of criteria. We're able to create workflows and business process flows to ensure data quality and drive business processes. Business units usually have a process in which they would enter data within the system and go through a process. We can mimic that and replicate it within Dataverse itself. And we have productivity tools. So for instance, we have the add-on for Microsoft Excel. We can pull data into Microsoft Excel from Dataverse and then manipulate it as we need and put it back. Now, the Dynamics 365 first-party customer engagement applications, so marketing, sales, customer service, etc., they use Dataverse to store and secure data. So we can build apps by using Power Apps and Dataverse directly against core business data, which is already used within Dynamics 365 without the need for integration. So if we have a very small part of the business which needs access to some of the data in sales or customer service, we can build a custom app which will have that data surface. It's the same data stored within Dataverse, just users are accessing it through different apps. So it's really very powerful and very good to use for that. We're able to work with customers and activities. We have different type of customer models. We have B2B, business to business, in which we're a business selling to other businesses or supporting other businesses. Or we have business to consumer, B2C, whereby our customers are individuals. We're selling to people rather than businesses. And also we have hybrid, in which it could be either a business or an individual. And we can put the necessary structure in place using accounts and contacts. So we could have an account, we could have multiple accounts, but there's a parent account. So if we think of a global company such as Microsoft, there'll be Microsoft in different countries. So each country would have its own Microsoft account with the parent account over the top of it. We can have different types of contacts associated with it. We can have a billing contact and an account contact and a variety of other stuff as well. So we're able to put that in place. So it allows us to be able to define it. We're also able to use activities. Now, activities are often associated with contacts and accounts, but depending on which Dynamics 365 application we're using or which custom app we've built, they can also be associated with other records. And When we say activities, we can be talking about things like appointments, tasks, notes, emails, phone calls, or custom type of activities if we wanted to define our own one for it. So in a sales scenario, for instance, activities could be added to leads and opportunities, but in a service scenario, we could use them for cases, work orders, and projects. As organizations' relationship with customer built over time, we want to be able to look through the record timeline to see the history of the interactions. We have the timeline feature control in which we can see all of the different types of activities and see them in chronological order and search through it as well. Now, talking of searching, we're also able to search and filter data. We have what we call the quick find. When we're looking on a view, and this is an example of a view showing my active account, so we would go into the app and we would go to accounts and we can then see it. We can then click and search the view itself. And this is a quick search or quick find, and it's available in any Dynamics 365 view. We can provide the first several letters of the item we're looking for, and the results will be returned directly in the view. It filters the view down. Now, it doesn't look for data that's not in the view, so you just need to be careful we are using the right view for it, but we are able to search within the view and it will return the results. So for example, if we're looking at this list of active account records and we put the word adventure into the search field, we would see all of the account records that begin or contain the word adventure within it. But we're not limited just to that. We also have the ability to search across multiple tables, and this is referred to usually as the categorized search. Now, the primary difference between categorized search and the quick find that we just took a look at is that instead of only searching one type of record, categorized searches look across multiple tables that have been defined by the system administrator in the organization. It doesn't do every single table in the system, it needs to be set up. So for instance, if we enter adventure, in this case, not only are we presented with all accounts that have adventure in it, but we are also presented with a list of any contacts who are associated with an account that begin with the word adventure as well. Now, there are times when we're not able to find what we're looking for by using the standard filtering and searching options. For example, when working with Dynamics 365 for sales, we may need to locate all of the accounts with open opportunities, and we can't do that with standard filtering, because what we need to do is we need to filter based on multiple tables. So in these instances, we can use the advanced filter option. This allows us to create detailed filters that can span multiple tables. And the advanced filter icon is located just to the left of the quick find search box. It looks like a bit like a filter. Coffee filter style thing at the top, and we can create that. We can span multiple tables. We can put conditions in place for it, say records should contain something or shouldn't contain something, and can work through it. It's really, really powerful and very useful. Let's move on and take a look at the product catalog. So since many of the first-party customer engagement apps have some sort of reliance on products, Dynamics 365 Product Catalog provides the necessary product functionality needed to support applications. Depending on the application we're working with, this can be leveraged in different ways. For example, if we're looking at sales, the product catalog stores the goods and services that we sell to our customers, so they can be used as line items on opportunities, quotes, orders, and invoice records. Different price lists are there to ensure that pricing is correct based on the customer that we're working with. If we look at customer service, the product catalog can be used by different support records such as cases, knowledge articles, and entitlement records. For example, knowledge articles can be associated with products from the catalog to make it easier to find articles for supporting a specific type of product. If we think of Dynamics 365 for field service, well, the product catalog is used on work orders to represent the products and services being provided as part of the work order. Products from the product catalog can be automatically converted into customer assets, which represent equipment at customer locations that can be serviced by an organization. Project operations. The product catalog can be used to add product line items to project opportunities, project quotes, and order contracts. Different price lists ensure the pricing again is correct based on the customer that we're working with. So the product catalog is very, very powerful and can be used across multiple parts of Dynamics 365 applications, as well as any custom applications that we may build. So that's the product catalog. Now, it's not just about the system itself. What we also need to know is about integration technologies. So we need to keep an eye out for integration technologies and how we will go ahead and use them. And there are a lot of different integration options available within Dynamics 365, such as Microsoft Word, Power Apps, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Teams, and SharePoint. And one of the advantages with Dynamics 365 is how easy it is to integrate with other Microsoft technologies within the Microsoft stack. So therefore, this can expand the number of scenarios where Dynamics 365 can provide the needed capabilities, as well as taking the data from Dynamics 365, which is saved into Dataverse, and using it in other places. So let's go ahead and take a look through all of these different options that are available. So we have SharePoint. So we can store attachments, documents directly within Dynamics 365. Now this does increase the size of the Dynamics 365 Dataverse and also database in Dataverse, and also of course based on the consumption has a cost associated with it. What we can do is we can use Microsoft SharePoint, and this allows documents to be surfaced directly within Microsoft Dynamics 365 but stored in the backend in SharePoint, which brings the consumption costs down quite considerably. So what we're able to do is we're able to upload through the Dynamics 365 interface. The documents are saved into SharePoint, and then we can do things like open the document location within SharePoint, open the location itself. We can see where the document is stored. We're able to add a location, such as open the current document's location. We're able to edit the location, so we can rename the location and edit the location on SharePoint itself. And this allows SharePoint to do indexing behind the scenes and all of the other functionality the SharePoint brings to it. So very, very useful. There is out-the-box integration with it. You need to have Microsoft SharePoint in place, obviously, and then you can very easily connect the two together and get it set up. And this is usually what larger organizations will do. We have Microsoft Teams. So Microsoft Teams provides the collaboration hub. This allows us to access a shared workspace for Office applications that most of us would already use to work opportunities. And what we're able to do is Dynamics 365 applications able to be surfaced natively within Microsoft Teams. So rather than have somebody work partially Microsoft Teams and then need to move across to Dynamics 365, whichever application they're using, they can access it directly within Microsoft Teams. It just makes life a lot easier for them for it. We also have the app available, which provides sellers with a simple-to-use experience. It combines data from multiple places, multiple sources, such as Dynamics 365 and Microsoft 365, and a variety of other places. And finally, we also have file integration available. This allows users to co-author documents using Microsoft 365, and then it automatically syncs with the custom engagement applications in Dynamics 365. So if you need users to be able to access documents and they're not directly set up as a Dynamics 365 user, you're able to share it with them. They can access it in Teams, they can co-author, they can collaborate. Live collaboration is available, of course, with Office documents, and they are then able to do that as needed. We also have Power Apps. So we have a number of different apps available. We have model-driven apps, we have Canvas apps, and what we can do is we are able to embed Canvas apps within a model-driven app. So for example, in the image, we can see an example of a Canvas app that's connected to the contact table within Dataverse. And because Canvas apps are much more visual, we're able to use this to be able to present more information. Now, obviously, Canvas apps can connect to other data sources, not just Dataverse. So it's possible, for instance, to connect it to a SQL database or a third-party application. So what we can do is then within a Dynamics 365 application, we can embed the Canvas app and then surface information from the other application or the other database as we wish to within this. And it's presented to users within the Dynamics 365 model-driven app in the context of the record that's being viewed. This is extremely helpful when thinking about things like legacy systems, and you don't want necessarily to pick up, lift and shift all the data across into Dataverse and worry about that. You're able to do that. With things like Microsoft Word, we're able to use Microsoft Word templates, as we mentioned briefly earlier, and we're also able to export data out to Microsoft Excel to view it and then to use it further within the Excel world. So we've looked at a bit of searching, and then we've looked at the integrations. Now let's go take a look at reporting capabilities. And reporting capabilities work within the system natively, and we can set these up both from a system-wide perspective as well as a personal perspective. And reporting capabilities start with views. So what we do is we create a view of the data. We say, what's the data we want to show? We can filter that based on criteria. Does a record contain something? Does its name start with a debenture, for instance, or is it a specific type of account over a certain credit limit? And we can specify the columns to be displayed within the view. and then we can access the view within the system. And when we access the view, we can then apply filters to drill down into the detail that's important to us. So if we have a list of accounts presented to us in the view, we're able to filter them, again, based on things like the name or the credit limit or the location that they are in. And what we can do is we can take that view, which we've created, and then we can run a chart off the top of it. Charts are very quick and actionable visualizations of the data. They're interactive, so we can continue to drill down into the relevant data by clicking through them. We can also place charts on dashboards and view them in line with the data that they're displaying. We're going to talk about dashboards in a moment. It's very simple to go ahead and create charts, and again, we can create system charts available to everybody within the organization, as well as personalized charts which are available only to ourselves as we view it. And we can toggle the view of charts on and off. Now, I mentioned dashboards, and dashboards are a collection of views, charts, iframes, or web resources, and we can set up dashboards as we want to. Now, the advantage of dashboards over views and charts is that views and charts are relating to the table that we're looking at. So if we've got something in accounts, we need to be looking at accounts, or contacts if we're looking at stuff for contacts. But dashboards are a collection, so we can set up a dashboard to report on data across different parts of the system. So we can easily attain a high-level overview of data all in one place. It's based on the first-party application that we're using. There are different dashboard options available to us, but what we're able to do is we're able to put views and lists of data. We're able to put charts and graphs in place. If we want to use something with an iframe or web resource, we're able to put that in as well. And we can say we can have accounts and contacts and orders placed all together to show the data as we want and change the layout of it as we may need to. So this shows us data within the system, and we can see data in different ways. But what we can then move on to are reports. And each of the Dynamics 365 first-party applications includes general system reports for us to gain insights into how it's doing, how our organization is performing. And we can use reports as they are, or we can customize them for our need. If we want to create a basic specialized report, we can use the report wizard to create custom reports. This is an easy-to-use tool that helps us to create our own reports, save them so that we've got there to run them. And these use things like views, which we can set up using the advanced find. We can specify conditions just in the same way as we would run the advanced find. Set it up, we can specify the columns that we want to have, and then we can save the report. We can even share it with others if we want to be able to do that. So that's really a basic overview of the initial parts of the system, how database works, and some of the capabilities around it. What exactly are the capabilities and the benefits of this? So what we're able to do is we're able to create email messages, not just plain text, but graphical ones as well. We're able to customize templates for emails and landing pages. This allows us to help us amplify our digital voice. We've got drag and drop capabilities to be able to design it very simply. We're also able to design interactive customer journeys to nurture leads. We have something called the Journey Designer, and this helps us create automated multi-channel campaigns to send personalized email messages, generate follow-up activities, launch workflows, and more. We're able to specify contacts in our target group and have them travel down a customized path based on their interactions and identify the best prospects. There's integration with LinkedIn, which is also owned by Microsoft. So able to tap into the LinkedIn business prospects. We're able to quickly target and connect with the right LinkedIn audience by importing leads that are generated with the LinkedIn's lead tools directly into Dynamics 365. We can share information across teams, so information about the leads and how contacts can securely be shared across the business to understand how every interaction affects the results. And it's not just about sharing this information, it's about knowing our leads better. We can develop a deeper understanding of our market with a 360-degree view of every lead and customer. Connected processes in a single source of information ensure that both sales and marketing have the latest data, including things like key contacts, recent activities, past purchases, and open opportunities. We're able to organize and publicize events. If we want to run events, whether in person or virtual, we're able to create the events, publicize them through a marketing portal, and get people to register for them for attending. We're also able to handle things like speakers and sponsors just in one place so the whole team can coordinate whilst working on it. We're able to analyze and document our marketing ROI, the return on investment. We have dashboards, as we've just seen, and reports which help us track the performance of the marketing initiatives to identify the best lead sources and marketing activities. With this, we can then go ahead and prioritize leads for more wins. Automated lead scoring skills and abilities within the system identify the best leads based on their interaction with events and customer journeys. When a lead meets a sales ready score, they can automatically be routed to a salesperson to follow up, while the lead is still considered a hot lead. We can make survey results more actionable. Surveys which are easy to create, they help us to gather actionable feedback from customers. We can understand the individual customer needs and expectations, so we can then grow relationships and revenue. And we're also able to, of course, configure and expand the application. We can customize it to fit our specific business needs. Basic customizations can be made right in the application, or we can extend capabilities and add new features by installing third-party packages from Microsoft AppSource. Now, included with Dynamics 365 for marketing are the following. We have the core marketing. This provides email marketing, customer journeys, behavior tracking, lead scoring, marketing pages, and some more. These form the core features of marketing overall. We have event management, which helps us to organize and promote events, whether they're in-person or webinar events. It also includes an online portal that attendees can use to review the event schedule and speakers and to register for the event. This feature is only available currently with Dynamics 365 Marketing. We have Dynamics 365 Customer Voice. These allow us to create online surveys and analyze the results. The feature is bundled with the marketing app, but is also available separately as an add-on for the other Dynamics 365 products. We have the Dynamics 365 connector for LinkedIn lead generation forms. We're able to import leads generated with LinkedIn's lead tools into Dynamics 365. This feature is again bundled with a marketing app, but is also available separately as an add-on for other Dynamics 365 products. And we have Dynamics 365 portals. Now, the marketing app can use a Dynamics 365 portal to publish its event website, as well as marketing pages and online surveys. All of these features are fully integrated with the solution, which is obviously a comprehensive marketing solution. So we need to know about these capabilities for it, because this is what Dynamics 365 Marketing is used for. So let's have a look at the key terminology. And it's important to note all of these items because these are used within the exam and we need to know what they are. So marketing automation is around the automation software available for us to help make things better. Marketing operations is about everything that happens within the marketing automation and platform to enable delivery of the right message to people at the right time who are interested. Campaigns are sent out to different groups of people who we specify. It's aimed to promote products or services, and through different types of channels such as television, radio, or different online channels as well. Digital marketing is around any communication that is digital. Events marketing is around marketing events. So if we've got a webinar that we're organizing, we want to market it, that comes under events marketing. Key performance indicator, or KPIs, it tracks the progress towards the goal. So we should look to have the right KPIs in order that we can continually evolve performance and track it along the way in order to optimize our strategies as best as possible. Product marketing is around the process of bringing a specific product to market and of course ensuring that it is successful. Brand positioning is about making sure that people are aware of our brand. That's also brand awareness, of course, which how much people are aware of a brand, but positioning is around positioning it in the right way. How are we different from our competitors? What is better or more special about our particular product? Lead nurturing is about taking a lead through the different stages, getting them engaged, getting them more excited, and moving them towards the ability to have a sale with them. We take them along a customer journey, which is the way of tracking, guiding the customer along the interactions with our own company. That's right from their very, very first interaction to when they signed a deal, and furthermore, past that to when we're in customer support and business as usual. Landing pages are used for lead generation. Successful landing pages have well-defined content done by people who are expert in this, clear conversion paths so that people who get onto the landing page know what the product is, what they're trying to do, and able to sign up, and then they get in the system very easily. Customer segmentation is about identifying the different sorts of customers that we have. So we could say, for instance, are they a business customer? So we're selling to a business, or are they a consumer customer? We're selling to an individual. This is an example of segmentation. And again, lots of different scenarios that can be there based on what the organization is. And lead scoring is used to rank prospects. Obviously, if we're looking at 100 possible leads, we don't have enough time to be able to go through all of them. So we want to see what is the best lead, which are the best leads we want to focus our time on. So we try and score them in order to work out where our best success is. So, how to get started with Dynamics 365 for marketing? Well, there are multiple ways for managing customers. We have contacts and segments and subscription lists. And customers represent the individuals that we're targeting as part of the efforts. So contacts are individuals that Microsoft Dynamics 365 marketing content and activities are targeted to. Segments is around grouping related contacts together so we can target them with a customer journey. Subscription lists are around storing details related to contacts who have elected to stay out of marketing email, so they don't want to be emailed, but we can still understand who they are. And what we do is we take these things and we then move forward onto the marketing execution path. This is where we define and manage the key components that drive the marketing efforts. So it includes things like marketing emails. These are emails that are sent out to prospective leads or leads who are currently in our list for it. Obviously, they're contacts, so things like images and videos and other components can be stored within Dynamics 365 for marketing, so we can easily use them, and not just use them once, but reuse them in marketing email content. We're able to use social posts, so we can author and schedule social media content to be posted to popular social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And finally, we have customer journeys, and this is a graphical interface that allows us to set up a journey so we can visualize, create, and automate the journey that customers take on their way to making a purchase. And we can set these up through the front end, and then we can visualize them, but we can tweak them as we need. We can also see where a specific contact is, lead for instance, is on their journey. So how do we get started with this? Well, we build all this up and we want leads. Now, leads represent an expression of interest by a contact based on their interactions with our marketing efforts. Once a lead has expressed a specific amount of interest, and we can specify what that is, they're considered sales ready and are ready to be handled by the sales team. Now, how do we assess when a lead is ready? We have scoring models, and these are used to calculate the lead score or level of interest based on scoreable interactions, such as the number of emails they've opened, how many times they've hit a landing page of us, how many times they visited a website or attended an event. We have scoring models which we can put into place, and these can help define when a lead is ready to be considered sales ready. So a lead is somebody from the initial point of interaction, and we work on getting them a higher score as much as possible, so that when we feel they're ready, we can then hand them over to sales itself. So that's lead management. Now, obviously, we want to be able to get the message out. So what we need to be able to do is things like internet marketing. So we have various components, marketing pages, forms, websites, and redirect URLs. Because, of course, marketing customers over the internet is really a great way to understand who our target customer base is and what they're actually interested in. So we can create web pages that can include forms where people can register for an offer or update their contact information, manage mailing list subscriptions, and a lot more. We have forms as well, which define a series of input fields that are used to collect information. For instance, we might add a lead capture form to a web page when somebody could request more information. You say, if you're interested, please fill in this form and we'll send you more information. And they put in their information, it's stored within our system, and we can automate more information to go out to them. We can have a whole website where we're tracking interactions with different pages on, where marketing pages are created and marketing website is also defined, where we host marketing pages on a marketing website. And we have redirect URLs, and these redirect through the Dynamics 365 marketing server on the way to another piece of content. So what we can say, we can link somebody, give them a link to a specific piece of content. We want to know, have they clicked on the link or not? Redirect URL will allow us to be able to track on whether that's there. Now, marketing content is a variety of different items. We could have images, we could have videos, we could have content blocks, a variety of other stuff. And what we have is we have an editor in which we are able to put together marketing emails and surface this information within it. The marketing content is used to create a content library that's relevant to marketing assets that's being used in our efforts. We have files, which represent images that can be inputted into things like marketing emails. Uploading images ensure that they can be accessed and displayed correctly when included in emails and marketing pages, because the last thing we want are formatting issues. We have keywords, and keywords allow us to make it easier to find our images. So when we upload an image, we can put a keyword against it, and then somebody else who may want that image can then search for the keyword and get that image for it. We can put videos up there as well. We can again upload it into the system. So it's all there, and it's a very easy editor to be able to use to put together all the content that we need. So we've already taken a look and mentioned segments earlier on. So let's take a further look into segments. Now, a typical marketing campaign is focused on a product the organization is providing or a service. And the goal is to target customers who will benefit the most from or have the greatest interest in what we are marketing. For that reason, one of the first and most important decisions to make when designing marketing pieces is choosing the correct audience, because it's a bit of a waste of time to go out to an audience that it wouldn't actually be interested in at all. So once we understand who our audience is, we can tailor messaging and marketing approach to best appeal to that group of people. And there are two common terms that we use within Dynamics 365 for marketing when it comes to targeting customers, and these are marketing segments and marketing lists. Now, marketing segments are about to establish groups of related contacts that we will target our marketing initiatives to. Marketing segments are used to target customer journeys, which we will discuss later on. Both marketing segments and customer journeys are features that are only available within Dynamics 365 for marketing. Marketing lists can target contacts, leads, or accounts. They're significantly more limited in function than marketing segments. Marketing list members can either be dynamically or statically assigned. Now, marketing lists are included with Dynamics 365 for sales and provide customers that do not have the marketing app installed to have some basic marketing features. One of these is through the Quick Campaign feature, which is also included in Dynamics 365 for sales. A quick campaign lets us quickly generate a single activity, such as an email message, to a marketing list. This is handy when we need to target multiple customers but don't need a fully featured focus of this style of campaign. Now, while marketing lists and quick campaigns are not the focus of the module, it's important to understand what they are, as they do appear in the application, often confused with marketing segments. As mentioned just before, marketing segments establish groups of related contacts to target marketing initiative towards. They're created using the segregation or segmentation designer. And whilst marketing segments only target contact records, the segment designer allows us to query contacts across multiple related tables, including contacts, leads, accounts, events, marketing lists, and more. For example, we could create a segment that only includes contacts from accounts that are in a specific industry, such as the manufacturing industry. We might also want to create a segment for contacts that participated in a specific event. Segments also enable us to query the Marketing Insight service to find contacts that may have shown engagement with marketing initiatives previously, or contacts that we may be failing to reach due to issues, for instance, such as emails being bounced. While building segments, it's about accessing the customer data that we have available. So Dynamics 365 for marketing gives us the ability to target customer data on behavioral and profile data. Behavioral data is generated automatically in response to contact interactions, such as opening an email, selecting clicking on an email link, submitting a form, or registering for an event. Whereas profile data is information that's captured and stored on the tables that we regularly work with, such as contacts, accounts, leads, and any other tables that we choose to sync with. Segments can easily be created based on different qualification factors to ensure that we are marketing services to the correct customer base. We can segment customers based on things like the demographics, so where they actually are physically based, such as New York or London. We can look at firmographic. These are selecting companies based on their business information, then find related contacts based on their role at the companies. So, for instance, we could target the primary contact of each account with a budget over $1 million. We could look at behavioral targeting, which is to find contacts who have interacted with or responded to marketing activities in a specific way and during a specific time frame, such as contacts who click the landing page link in a recent product launch email. We can statically target by manually defining who we should include in a segment by selecting which contacts we want to include. And we have the ability to have combined audiences, and this allows us to have a more powerful targeting of customers by combining contacts from existing segments to more decisively define who to include or exclude, such as contacts that are in the New York segment but who are also in the newsletter segment. So we're able to pull all of this together in order to put this through. And what we then do once these are defined is we'd mark it. So for instance, we would go ahead and we would use email marketing. And as mentioned already, we have the ability to create emails directly within Dynamics 365 for marketing using a drag and drop interface to set it out. The email designer provides this visual design that allows us to add, configure, and arrange various text and graphical elements that our email requires. We can style the overall message with basic fonts, colors, and backgrounds. We can add dynamic content, such as adding a contact's first name or last name or company name to the body of the email using slugs, which then automatically populate when they send out. And we can also add links to external web pages, such as Dynamics 365 marketing pages, event registration pages, surveys, and many, many more. And this therefore allows us to send large volumes of personalized emails. We can monitor how recipients interact with them, how many people open them, how many people clicked through to them, and it drives the customer journey. Now, when people respond to a marketing initiative and we capture that information within the system, this is stored as a lead. Now, here we can see what we refer to as a lead qualification screen. With Dynamics 365 for marketing, we're able to create custom lead scoring models based on how customers are interacting with our organization. There's an automated scoring system which enables Dynamics 365 for marketing to calculate a score for each lead based on things like the demographic details, their firmographic details, and the actions that they've taken as they've interacted with us. So what it does is it goes ahead and it gives a score to various activities. So things, for instance, as opening an email, submitting a landing page, going to our website, or attending an event. We can design our own segments and customer journeys to react to promising patterns in contact behavior. So we are able to engage them further with targeted messaging and enticing offers that should hopefully nurture their interest and get them to engage more with us. And we can see where they are along with it. Now, with customer journeys, what we're aiming to do is to take customers, leads, along a pathway. We want to engage them, we want to get them interested, and we want to get them to be able to buy a product or service from us. And the goal of the journey is that when it's completed, it turns into revenue. So we want to attract the right people, we want to create reusable assets, so we don't need to put time and effort into creating the assets every single time. We want to be able to personalize them and run marketing at it. So we can create campaigns that target the specific customer segments across multiple channels. So we can think of email marketing, as we mentioned, web landing pages, events, telemarketing, SMS text integration, LinkedIn integration, and other custom channels. So we're not just interacting with them through a single channel, we can do it across multiple channels. We want to be able to upload material which we can use time and time again. So we have configurable templates, reusable content block, and design tools to make it easy to create that vast library of marketing content and material that can easily be leveraged across different customer journeys. Tools like Power Automate can help streamline content approvals and easily integrate with third-party content management systems. And we can personalize the customer journeys by leveraging preferences as well as their past interactions. We can create personalized customer journeys as well as automatically sync and nurture LinkedIn leads with the Dynamics 365 connector for LinkedIn lead generation forms. To prepare a customer journey, we will get started. So we need two pieces of information at least. These are the customers that we want to target and the marketing activity that we want to do. Now, we can get very complex in this, but we start off something basic. And the different sort of tiles that we can use are as follows. We have the audience. So who are the people that the journey is targeting? A customer's journey audience can be any of the following. It can be a segment, which is a collection of contacts grouped according to a common attribute or explicit assignment. It could be a form submitted, so all new or existing contacts who have submitted the form will be sent along the customer journey. Or it can be record updates. Using the record updated tile to monitor all records belonging to a specific table and then find the contact associated with any of these records that gets created, deleted, or updated while the journey is running. We have messages, and a message is the content that the customer journey delivers to contacts as they traverse the pipeline. We have the ability to branch. Branches allow different things to happen based on conditions. So we can provide different directions the customer can be led to based on how they interact with the different elements. And we have the ability to have an if or if-then branch. And what this does is contacts follow it along until essentially it's a yes-no. If they've done this, then this will happen. If they do something else, then something different will happen. It holds them until the defined condition is true, until a defined amount of time expires, and it splits the path. Being able to split things adds a fork to the customer journey pipeline, sending a random selection of contacts along each available path, and we can track it. We have the ability to use wait or delay to specify how long to wait until performing the next step in the journey, and can be set to wait for an action to happen. So wait for us, for instance, a specific amount of time before sending them to the next step. So we could use this to insert a delay of a day or a week between sending an initial marketing email and then sending a reminder. Or we can do a wait until. And wait until holds it until a specific date is reached. So for instance, we can say we want to put a mail short out on the 1st of January and it's currently October time. We could say wait until the 1st of January, and then it will wait until the 1st of January to be able to do it. And then we have actions. And this specifies what to do in response to a condition or wait item being met. Options include things like creating a lead, which will create a new lead for each contact or account that enters this specific area. We can run a workflow to invoke a custom workflow at any point in the customer journey, so we can use this to advance a process stage, create alerts, and more. Workflows are, of course, highly customizable. We have the ability to run a LinkedIn campaign. So the LinkedIn campaign tile links each contact who passes through it to a specific LinkedIn campaign, so we can see who was part of the campaign. And we have sales activities. Obviously things such as appointments, phone calls, tasks, etc. We can specify when they should be initiated along it. So it allows us to see the entire journey overall and where people are on the journey and how they're getting through it. Now, we've already mentioned the event management capability. So what we have is the event designer, and this allows us to create the right type of events based on our organizational goals and factors such as the intended audience, the type of event, and the desired outcomes. We have the ability to track logistics such as the location details and fees and speakers and sponsors. And we can manage all of that within the event management. We can create the agenda, so defining the sessions that will be offered throughout. We can track as well where it's being located, the type of session, the audience, who will be delivering the session, so who will be the speaker for the session. And we can create tracks, so we can have multiple tracks running with different sessions on each track. This allows attendees to be able to easily locate and find the sessions that are most important to them. We can manage registrations, so who's planning on attending, things like event passes and packages can be created to provide the best experience possible to the attendees for the event. And we have attendance history, so we can evaluate the session's popularity and leverage that information to help set up future offerings and events. We can drive sales activities. We have attendance information, and from the participants we can see who's interacted and how they've interacted, and we can use that in marketing campaigns to generate leads and help drive future revenue. Now, there are also additional marketing applications such as the LinkedIn Campaign Manager, Customer Voice, and Customer Insights available, and these work in conjunction with the core functionality that is provided as part of Dynamics 365 for marketing. It expands its capabilities and provides more flexibility. So let's go and take a look at these three items. So LinkedIn Campaign Manager is a marketing solution that's designed to be able to interact with LinkedIn and run campaigns based on it. So within a campaign, we can specify various things. We can specify the objective, which is a specific business goal we want to achieve. For instance, building brand awareness, generating leads, or engaging with customers. Based on the objective, prospects will have different experiences. For instance, if we're choosing lead generation, we're going to direct customers to a lead generation form that's pre-filled with their LinkedIn profile data, so they don't have to enter everything. It pulls as much data as possible from LinkedIn. The audience let us define who we want to reach based on things like the geographic region and targeted criteria. We can define the details such as the industry, skills, or job title in the audience profile. The ad format allows us to select the different type of ads to ensure that we're using the best format based on the objective. So things like a single image ad, a carousel image, a video, and other options available as well. Placements helps us use the LinkedIn Audience Network to reach more of our target audience. Budget and schedule allow us to define a daily budget on how much we want to spend on targeting our ads, because ads of course cost, and define a schedule. When do we want to be able to have them posted? When do we want them to be able to go out? And finally, conversion tracking. We can measure the actions that LinkedIn members take on our website after clicking or viewing the LinkedIn ad. Dynamics 365 Marketing offers several features for running and integrating marketing campaigns on LinkedIn, such as the ability to schedule and publish the social posts to both personal and company LinkedIn pages directly from the app. We can import the leads that are generated by the lead gen forms into marketing. We can design the customer journeys, and we can create LinkedIn matched audiences. So all very, very helpful and very important. So that's how LinkedIn Campaign Manager works. Now, we also then, the second app is Dynamics 365 Customer Voice. And what Dynamics 365 does, it allows us to define projects that contain multiple surveys to share common metrics. It includes a variety of questions to help us create surveys. Types of questions are things like choices, text, rating, dates, able to rank things, like it. So how much do you agree with something? Do you like it or not like it? File upload, and net promoter score. Dynamics 365 Marketing includes built-in support for adding surveys to our marketing campaigns. Surveys are built using Dynamics 365 Customer Voice and can be accessed directly from marketing components, including the segment builder, the email designer, and the customer journey design. By making this information available in Dynamics 365 for marketing, we can use surveys to make data-driven decisions and apply the findings to the marketing initiatives. We can even automate the survey experience and use data generated from surveys for advanced segmentation and customer profilings. So now let's move on to Dynamics 365 Customer Insights. And what Customer Insights does is it takes data from all of the different data sources and it puts them into a single customer profile. It's driven by AI essentially underneath. It contains two products, which is Audience Insights and Engagements Insights. And it can say, how is our audience engaging with us? If we look at an overall audience, in a specific sector, particular segment, how are they engaging overall? What should we learn from it? Or engagement insights, how is something specifically that we're doing? What is the engagement driven with us? It's aimed to give a 360-degree view of customers overall. So things like transactional data, behavioral data, demographic data from all of our data silos. So the process for creating insights, we take all the data in, we create a customer profile, we define the activities associated with it and the relationships. We can enrich the data by putting in other parts of data as well. We can define the measures used for it, and we can create segments. And then what this will do is this then will spit out a lot of information for us to be able to analyze and see, and hopefully help us understand customers better, and then we can get better at what we're doing. So this really covers Dynamics 365 for marketing at an overall high level. So let's go and move on to the next module. So let's now go ahead and take a look at our second module. And the second module is the second one of the 5 core apps. And this is Microsoft Dynamics 365 for sales. This is all around the sales functionality within an organization. And essentially comes after marketing, because marketing goes and gathers all the leads in, qualifies them, gets them to a point whereby they're ready, then they engage with the sales unit. And what we have is we have the sales process. Now, the specific process stages and terminology that are used by organizations will vary based on factors like the industry, the sales strategy, product offerings, or the types of customers that they are targeting. But essentially, there are 4 parts to it. They qualify the opportunity, they qualify the leads to see if they are relevant or not. They will develop them to get the relationship going with them, to get to the point whereby they can then propose something to them. We want to sell you this product. We think you'll be really interested in it. Or we want to offer you this service. We think you'll be really interested in it. And then they go through, the potential customer confirms, and they want to go ahead with it. The deal is signed. And at that point, they close it off. Now, there's some key terminologies that we need to know along the sales process. So, an account is a business or an organization. It could be a customer, it could be a vendor, it could be different types of groupings that's there. But that's an account overall. Activities around things that we do. So, we'd have phone calls and emails and appointments. And these are activities which we can save against the account or even against the contact or other types of records. Contacts is an individual. Each individual will be a contact record. So an account, being the organization, will have usually multiple contact records associated with it, as well as activities. Customers, a little bit more complicated. A customer could be an account or a contact. So in a B2B scenario, business to business, this would be a customer would be an account. In a B2C, a business to consumer scenario, this would be a contact. A lead is somebody who has an interest in what we're selling. Could be an existing client who has an interest in a new service or a new offering, or could be somebody totally new who we have not interacted with before. And we take leads and we move them into opportunities. So like a lead, an opportunity is a potential sales transaction. It's more viable than a lead. They say, I may be interested, I may not. Opportunity is, I'm interested in a product or a service. I'd like to find out more about it. And it's therefore tracked for a longer period of time. We have the product catalog, as we've talked about earlier on, which is around products and information around products. So this contains information around products such as the type of product and the amount the product is, and can be associated with things like opportunities, quotes, orders, and invoices. A quote is a formal offer for a product or a service. Somebody we're interacting with, they may or may not be interested in us, that's a lead. Somebody says they're interested in a product, that's an opportunity. We then need to give them details of that product, and we're obviously going to quote them on how much it's going to cost or how much the service is going to cost. That is an actual quote. And a quote progresses into an order. When a quote is finalized, we give the quote to the customer. The customer says, that looks fine, I'm happy to go ahead with it. That's then an order for it. And after we do an order, we provide the products or the services, we then need to invoice. And this is the record saying we have provided this product or this service, this amount of costs, and the customer then needs to come and pay us for it. We bill it. We have the sales pipeline. And this is where people are within the sales process. So, how many people we are developing, how many people we're moving across into leads, into opportunities, and then being able to close them off. It can be used to show how many deals salespeople are supposed to be closing in a specific period of time, or how close they are to hitting their sales target. And finally, we have competitors, which are other organizations similar to us, providing similar products, similar services, and essentially we're going to compete with them to win deals. So let's go ahead and see how we can use this and show it in our sales process that we saw earlier on. So if we take a look at this, for instance, we have our sales process along the bottom. We have qualify, develop, propose, close, and now we have fulfill on there. So in the qualify stage, we have the lead, we identify who the lead is, and we can qualify them. Would they be considered to be a good fit or not? If they're not a good fit, then the lead is disqualified and the sales cycle ends. But if we determine that, in fact, the lead is indeed a good fit, the lead is termed to be qualified, and then it's converted to an opportunity. And then we move across into the develop stage. The opportunity record is used to develop the details of the deal. Details such as the products and services that the lead is interested in, estimated revenue, and timelines are added to the opportunity and is tracked within the system. When we're happy with that, what we can then do is we can propose. So once the deal is ready to go, we add a quote to the opportunity, and this represents the formal proposal to the lead, to the now potential customer, to be able to take a look at it. This is the product or the service that we're offering, this is what it's going to cost them, and this will then go over to the customer. The customer takes a look at the quote and says that is great and accepts the quote. And when they accept it, we then go ahead and we create an order within the system. We can auto-generate this from the quote. And with this, when an order is generated, the quote and the opportunity, which is still there within the system, are closed successfully. We then fulfill the order, so we provide the services or the products to the customer, and this is then fulfilled. And when we can mark it as being fulfilled, which is the fifth stage within the system, an invoice is then automatically generated based on all the information that we have stored within the system to be able to bill the customer. So this is the way that the sales process works overall from the first point to the last point. So quite concise with that. So what features are available with Dynamics 365 for sales? There are a lot of out-the-box features to support sales functions. We have artificial intelligence tools. We have things like the business card scanner, which allows us to quickly capture important information from a business card and put it in to Dynamics 365 for sales or Power Apps whilst we're out. If we're at conferences or exhibitions or in the field and we're meeting customers, we can take business cards, scan it in, and the data will be captured in the system. This can help us quickly identify if there is a past relationship with a customer and determine what the next course of action should be. We have tailorable business process flows. We're able to guide sellers through each stage of our organization's sales lifecycle process. Not only does this help to onboard new sellers in our organization, but it also ensures that all our sellers know exactly what is required during each stage in the process, and they're equipped with the necessary data and tools to execute it. We have the assistant, which surfaces important information in the context of what we are doing, such as providing reminders of upcoming activities related to a sales lead or notifying us when customers are doing something that could impact a potential detail. And we have the timeline, which surfaces any relevant communications directly onto the record form. This easily lets us see all relevant communications from a single point. In addition, we can quickly generate communications such as phone calls, emails, and appointments, and interact with team members directly from the prospect's record. Now, we've already spoken about the product catalog, which is available in the system, and we can manage, therefore, all of our products. With the dedicated product catalog that can function as a standalone product catalog, or can be integrated with an ERP application such as Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations, we can quickly build sales quotes by adding products directly from the product catalog. Automated pricing options can update pricing details automatically. We have the ability to have customized pricing and discounts. We hold multiple price lists. We can attach the most appropriate pricing based on who the customer is, current promotions, or sales scenarios. We have the ability to have product families. And product families extend the product catalog functionality even more by providing a central area to define common properties such as the sizing or coloring options for all products within a family. Products can be linked together to provide greater support in common sales scenario, such as cross-selling, product substitution, or upselling. We have quote management. And as we said in the sales process, we would generate a quote. So we can generate quotes directly from details stored within a sales opportunity. We can manage the entire sales negotiation process with easy quote revisions and quote delivery using familiar formats such as Microsoft Word documents or PDFs. Sales orders can then be created directly from quotes when deals move forward. With the sales automation, related supply chain items can then be opened or closed as the attached quote record is also closed. And we have invoices, which then can be automatically created from fulfilled sales orders, and the status of the invoice is tracked as the invoice is paid for by the customer. So let's take a look at the typical sales lifecycle. So as we can see, we've got lead, opportunity, quote, order, invoice. This is the way that it goes through the system, and this overlaps how we go with it into the system, which we've seen it already. So in the qualify stage, we've got that potential lead. In the develop stage, we're moving through them. We're getting them more interested. We can then give them a quote, we propose them a quote, they accept the quote, they confirm the quote details. We're using the product catalog for all of this as well, and we can then fulfill it within the system. So with looking back at our lead record as we got the business process flow at the top, we'll move them through that process as we've seen it, and we move them through it. We'll be able to see the information around it. We can see the stakeholders as we talked about already before. And then once we've completed the process of determining the viability of the lead, we can either qualify them, so they indicate that we consider them to be a viable potential sale and we're ready to move to the next phase in the sales process, or we can disqualify them, where we indicate that we will no longer be pursuing them as a customer. They're disqualified out. And this is essentially the end of the lead process. If they're disqualified, they would stay in the system as a disqualified lead. Now, if we have qualified them as a lead, we then move it to the opportunity stage. And this then leads into opportunity management. So we got the business process that we've had before, and we've qualified the lead, so we're happy with that. We've taken the information from it, and we move into the develop stage. So we create the opportunity automatically when we qualify a lead as being a proper qualified lead. We're not disqualifying them. It creates the opportunity automatically within the system. And what we can then do is we can add product lines to the opportunity. So when we add products, we will then have prices from the product catalog, which is associated with it. We can also specify as to whether we use the system calculated price or whether we're going to use special pricing. And what would happen is that the sales rep would then arrange a meeting with the opportunity, with the person, to go through it, say, are you happy with it? If we're happy with that, what we'd do is we'd then be able to create a quote within the system. They could do a presentation, for instance, around the proposal with it, and then wrap up a quote if they would be happy to proceed with it. And the presentation, of course, can be attached to the opportunity if needed and closed down. As they move forward with it, they would then go ahead and they would create the quote. So if we take a look at working with quotes, see, Quotes can be created manually within the system. Possible to create manual quotes, or they can be done directly from the opportunity. Now, when a quote is first created, it has a status of draft. Draft quotes can be modified and have products added or removed. It's tweaking that quote to get it ready. When it is ready to be presented to the customer, it needs to be activated. And an activated quote is read only. Once the quote is active, it is ready to be presented to the customer, and quotes can be generated typically as Microsoft Word documents or as PDF documents. Now, if we consider the sales process generically, usually the first version of a quote presented to the customer is not the version that they actually end up accepting. It's quite common for a customer to request that items be removed or change the quantities or get better pricing. For example, the quote could include, 10 items on it, and the customer decides they actually want to start with 5 for now. So what would happen is they present the first quote to the customer, and then the customer comes back and says, actually, I want to change. So they would then create a version of the quote within the system. They don't change the first one. The first one is still there. It's then archived, and they create a new one based on the first one, and they modify it as necessary. And it gets to the point whereby the customer then says, yep, that's great. I want to go ahead with that quote. I'm happy with it. So what we do then is we finalize that quote, and that then creates an order. So what happens is the order is the commitment from the customer. They've accepted the quote. They are going to be able to buy. And orders are automatically created from a quote that's accepted. The customer says it's accepted. We hit the button within the system to say that this quote is accepted. We need to make sure, of course, we're on the right version of the quote. And then it then creates an order automatically, and we need to go ahead and fulfill the order. We need to provide the customer with the services or with the products that are part of it. So this creates the order then. And when the order is then fulfilled, what we are able to do is then we're able to mark it as being fulfilled. Either it's fully completed, so it's fully fulfilled, or it's partially fulfilled. We've had a problem. We haven't been able to deliver 10 units. We haven't been able to deliver 7 because there was a problem with the supply chain, so we need to deliver 3 still, for example. But then we can automatically go and create an invoice, which is automatically generated within the system. When an invoice is created, all of the products that are associated with the order will be automatically added to the invoice. Now, other products or services can be added or removed from the order after it has been created, and will then go on to the invoice as well. An invoice, of course, a request for the customer to actually pay us for the products and services or services that we are offering. So this is how the sales process works overall at a high level. Now, just as with marketing, we had customer insights, we also have sales insights. And Dynamics 365 Sales Insights is a suite of features that continuously analyze our data around customer interactions that are already stored within Dynamics 365 for Sales, as well as the Microsoft 365 databases. Now, advanced Sales Insights features, some of them do require Dynamics 365 Sales Insights licensing. So, for instance, things like the Assistant with the Studio, Relationship Analytics, Predictive Lead Scoring, Predictive Opportunity Scoring, Notes Analysis, Talking Points, Dynamics 365 Assistant for Microsoft Teams. All of those need the additional license in place. What it does, it allows it to analyze what's going on in terms of your leads, in terms of our quotes, in terms of our orders, and invoices as well, to be able to understand our relationships. We can see the activities that we've carried out in relation to the specific contacts or accounts. We can see if they're being successful or not. We've been able to analyze the conversations that are going on. So talking about football, for instance, or talking about tennis, or talking about Formula One racing, we can see that. We can see which conversations are gaining good traction with the customers to be able then to build on that and enhance our relationship. Now, when we looked at the marketing, Dynamics 365 for marketing, we talked about LinkedIn integration. And Dynamics 365 for sales has LinkedIn integration as well, using Sales Navigator. And what this does is this integrates LinkedIn Sales Navigator with Dynamics 365 for sales to provide a seamless experience between Sales Navigator and Dynamics 365. This in turn empowers sales representatives to get insights on customers as well as recommendations directly from any Dynamics 365 record. LinkedIn Sales Navigator controls are available and can be placed on Dynamics 365 sales forms. And the two controls available are the LinkedIn Sales Navigator lead control, so handling leads, as well as the LinkedIn Sales Navigator account control, handling accounts. And what this allows us to do is allows us to get access to all of our LinkedIn features directly in Dynamics. So things like LinkedIn InMail, we're able to run from Dynamics itself. We're able to ask for an introduction to the lead from anybody within the network or the organization. And we're able to bring those LinkedIn activities, so InMail and Point Drive activities, into the activity timeline within Dynamics 365 itself. So any interactions we've had directly within LinkedIn, we can see within Dynamics 365 when we're looking at the record. So some fabulous integration with LinkedIn, very powerful, really there to drive that sales process. Absolutely. So with that, this has finished our look at the Dynamics 365 for Sales module. Thank you and have a lovely day.
Thanks for such an informative part 1 of this session. I hope our participants will really benefit from it. Don't forget to join us for the remaining 2 parts of this series to complete your exam prep on Microsoft Dynamics 365 Fundamentals, Customer Engagement Apps, CRM, MB 910. So we'll see you in the next part of this series. Bye!